everybody. I think I put an intro on the first clip of this movie, but just in case, this is a test video. Everybody wants to know how to make CBD soap, so I've just done some research and done some study, and I don't know if it'll work, but we're gonna try. So here it goes. Okay, so I make a really nice CBD balm that works like crazy for pain, helps with migraines and sleep and things like that. And everybody's sending me messages. It's like boom, 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 boom on my phone. How can I make CBD soap? How can I make CBD soap? How can I make CBD soap? And I had already been notified that CBD dies after 130 degrees. So even for those high output pens that are for dab wax and crystals, when you hit that stuff, it's being diminished as you're absorbing it. So when you take CBD crystals and put it in one of those pens and you heat it up to make vapor, you lose a little bit of its potency as you're doing it. So CBD crystals, it's got to be 130 or they start dying. So hot cold process soap might be impossible. Melt and pour soap might be possible, but you know, that's melt and pour, right? I mean, it's hard to get a quality melt and pour. So, well, that's what I think anyway. So, but I have got 2 tablespoons of hemp oil, and I have got 500 milligrams of CBD crystals, and we are gonna try to make this happen, okay? But then we started selling terpenes, okay? Terpenes can get really hot. So now we could actually do something here. So like pineapple makes you smile. Strawberry makes you go, 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 go. And blueberry, it puts you down. And then it makes you dead calm. So this is terpenes, okay? And these are the drops. I also sell the toads so you can like test it or have some for your pocketbook, you know? So anyway, so I decided that I have a choice of making a soap possibly that will help you sleep at night, possibly make you smile, or possibly make you go, go, go. And I think that people would be more apt to want something that would calm you down at the end of the day when you take a shower first. I mean, that's what I'm gonna try first. And these can get hotter than 180 degrees and still be okay. So that means that our cold process soapers could even work with terpenes. Do you know what terpenes is? Terpenes is marijuana essential oil. Okay, but these are THC free, so nobody's getting high here today, but they're gonna be possibly severely relaxed. Goat's milk soap gets hotter faster because of the sugar, but then it settles down really nicely, and it's so much more pliant when you're molding it that I thought to myself, I could get goat's milk soap at 130 and still be able to mold it. We're gonna find out today. Okay, so have crock pot, have stick blender. We'll have fun. So here we go. So this is a goat's milk soap. So that means that our lye water has been reduced by 6.6 because I have 6.6 ounces of milk with a leaky, the lid's already been cracked. So that's why I was trying to be careful. So like, can you see in there? See how I've almost got it all? You got to get it all, guys. I think we got it all. Okay. I swear. I think I'm gonna have to get me another one already in no time. This one hasn't even lasted a year. Okay. So we're gonna need this again in a minute, so I'm gonna just set it here on the counter. That does mean that there's gonna be lye on your counter over here, so after a bit when you're done, I mean, you know, you're gonna have to clean that up and be real, you know, wear your gloves, be cautious. Okay, so we're gonna set a timer for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna add our milk. Okay, so this is a package of 1,000 milligrams of CBD, and I sell these on my website. It takes 2 of these packages to make my CBD balm recipe. So this one here I'd already previously opened and made a 500 milligram jar for a lady who wanted a stronger balm than what I make normally. And so I did. And so this is half empty because I've already got part of it out. So I'm putting in 2 tablespoons of hemp oil. I'm putting 500 milligrams of CBD. Okay? And we're gonna, it's gonna be lumpy, a little grainy, you know, it's gonna do all that stuff. Oh, your alarm's going off?
Yes, sir.
And we do alarms now. Every 20 minutes we stir the soap. It's awesome. It works so much better. And so just turn your alarm off, and if you need to finish that essential oil so you don't forget where you're at, that's fine, then come right back to it. Okay, so now I'm going to let this soak, and I think you'll be able to see it. See if you can. Hang on, I'm a-coming. Can you see the graininess in the bottom with the from the camera? So that's the CBD crystals that have not dissolved yet into the oil, and we've got to wait. And we never use cold oil. Always room temperature or slightly warmed, just very gently warmed. So we're going to sit that back there, and I just noticed that I've got a few crystals stuck to my lid, so I'm going to try to get those off and get those in there. And then you can lick the goodness out of the bottle if you want to, or you can put part of your oil in here and and close it up and shake it and try to get all the little extra crystals out of there. I do that sometimes, and I think I will, but I'll not do it on camera. Okay, so now we're going to work, as I said, strawberry makes you smile. Strawberry makes you ready to go, go, go. And blueberry puts you down. So we're going to make blueberry today. And I'm going to set those others out of the way temporarily. And this is our super fats. And we're going to just see if we can get as much as possible of this in here. And so I even thought maybe the tip of my to just try to help get it all out. I'm still seeing little drips, so I'm just going to keep working it, because just one drop of this will, if it at bedtime, will knock you down and put you out. So And then there's still a little bit right here. And I might just actually switch that around. And I hadn't thought of that. And then get some of the oil, which is very liquidy compared to glycerin. And do a shake. To try to get all the great little bits out. And this is glass and this is glass, so I'm having to be careful. Okay, so I've done my deal. And so now I'm blending that. And there we go. So just to get this across, to make sure you understand, 2 tablespoons of the super fats in hemp oil is right here, and I put the CBD crystals in that. Okay, and here, because this can't be put in the soap till it's 130 degrees. All right, and then this can get much hotter, so I put it in the super fats because it's going to go in at the end. So you've put the terpenes in the super fats, you've put the crystals in part of the super fats that we're going to hold back to the very, very end. We're using goat's milk soap because goat's milk has soap. The lactic acid and the sugar that's in the goat's milk makes the soap cook really fast, but it also makes it more pliable, I find, so it molds easier at cooler temperatures, and it doesn't get as hot towards the end. It cools much easier. It cooks fast, but it doesn't seem to get as hot. So that's what we're going, and I've added my lye, and I'm gonna have to wait 5 minutes, and then I'm putting my milk in. Okay, so our soap has been cooking for 5 minutes. It's still creamy, it's not thickened, it's just starting to thicken. Make sure you put your milk in before this soap thickens. And a lot of the fat from the goat's milk will stick to the pan, so make sure that you have a spatula and you scrape it. Besides, everything that the recipe calls for goes in there. And if you leave residues in your pans and containers, then you're not putting it all in there. As soon as you see that it's blended, stop. And we're cooking this on low. Just went on to low. I'll explain to you more about the oils and the bases and things like that as we go along. Hey everybody. Okay, so on this, I use the Kim's Favorite recipe. You can find that at www.kimberlymacnut.com. And I just subtracted 6.6 ounces of milk from the water, and I put all of the lye in the water less 6.6% ounces, and then I had 6.6 ounces of milk in a container frozen that I thawed. So then we put the milk in. I mixed the lye water with the oils, and then we waited 5 minutes, and then we put the milk in, and then we cooked it. And when it got 180 degrees, we put the super fats that had the blueberry terpenes terpenes in it. Okay, and then on the essential oils, you don't have to put these in, but black pepper is known to help absorption of other essential oils into the skin, and so is peppermint. So I put 4 tablespoons of peppermint. I put 2 tablespoons of black pepper. I put 6 tablespoons of patchouli because that's also a very soothing essential oil. It's a natural euphoric. And 4 tablespoons of lavender. And then of course 1 bottle of the blueberry turpentine. I can't say it right now. Terpenes, blah, which is marijuana essential oil of the blueberry, I think OG breed of marijuana that has been raised, grew in an industrial federal facility, and has been controlled according to the Obama legislation and law that was signed. So everything's been grown in agreement with those requirements, and all the THC has been removed. And so it can tolerate hotter than 180, but I thought, you know, I got to cool it down anyway. Let's just go ahead and cool it down to 180. Now I'm working on trying to get it to 130, and so you'll see that later on. But and you'll see what we did. But in any case, I just wanted to put this in at somewhere in this video. I'm not sure where I'm going to poke it, but I'm going to poke it in here somewhere, and it will tell you so that you will know how we made this. And you go to KimberlyMcNutt.com and look at Kim's favorite recipe, and you can pick a different one out, or you can use one that you already have. You just want to reduce the water by however much milk you have, and put all of the lye into the water that you've reduced down to, and then put that in the refrigerator until it's cold. And you want to get your oils below 100 degrees, like around 90, and then put your lye water into your oils, and then wait 5 minutes, and then put your milk in. And that's to give the lye an opportunity to do its job and become weakened, so that it does not destroy the milk as bad. And so now the lye is dead, so the wonderful CBD and the terpenes that we're going to put in will not be hindered by the lye. All right, I don't know where I'm going to poke this. Maybe you'll like it. Okay, so this has been cooking, yeah, that's what I thought, about 30 minutes. And as you can see, I've cooked this on low, going really slow. I had really cold milk. I had cold lye water, so that slows things down. That helps to keep our milk from getting overdone. And now, so this is gel, these thick pieces, and that's goat's milk soap. All right. So basically, it's cooking into soap, and I'm breaking up the gel, and basically so it'll go faster. And so that what's already liquefied or become soap won't burn. Okay guys, so I turned this off when it was done, and I've been just letting it cool. And I want to try to get it down with just the lid on it. I haven't been stirring it or cooling it or doing anything to it, just letting it cool with it off for about an hour. It cooked for about 45 minutes, and it's now at 190. So I want to try to get it to 180 before I add the super fats to it. So I've got 10 more degrees to go. So now I'm going to put it with the lid like this, and you could have done this earlier by putting it like this and stirring it and stirring it and stirring it to get it cooler faster, but we're making other soaps, so I've just let it cool on its own with the lid completely on it, which is a slower process. And so once it gets to 180, I'll bring you back. Okay guys, so let's see how cool it is now. see how nice goat's milk soap is? Goat's milk soap will cool nicely, and it doesn't, it's a lot more fluid. So that's why I thought if I'm going to have to get it that low a temperature, I need something that's more fluid. Okay, so we're right at 180. So since we're at 180, I'm going to put my blueberry terrapin infused superfats in. And according to the distributor, it can get much harder than 180, but I thought, you know, I have to get it down to 130. Why not put it through less suffering compared to more suffering of heat, just for safety's sake? So I said I'm going to do 180. And these super fats being melted and cooled some will drop the temperature of this soap quite quickly. So let's see where that's at. So now our terpenes are in. I was at 180. So now I'm at 170. So ideally, the best thing to do is to leave it in this insulated pot and let it cool down really slowly so that you don't end up getting crispies. So that's what we're going to do. It's unplugged, it's off, it's just slowly cooling. This is very time consuming, I guess you might say, process, but it will make things hopefully better in the end, because we're putting these in at the right temperature and we're doing it slow and natural and easy. And our CBD is right here, and it needs to go in after it hits 130. Once we get down to 160, I'm going to put our essential oils in, and so I'm going to take a second and tell you what those are. I have mixed my essential oils, and I'll tell you about those, but we have black pepper that helps absorption, and peppermint that helps absorption of things into the skin, and then we have patchouli, because patchouli is it's a natural euphoric, so it soothes you, and French lavender, which soothes you. So we've got 2 soothers and 2 that helps with penetration of the pores. And of course we have our blueberry ready to go in, and our CBD crystals getting ready to go in when the temperature is right. Okay guys, so I've gotten it down to 160. So I'm going to put my essential oils in. I've given you the amounts. We've got patchouli, lavender, peppermint, and black cumin. I mean, not black cumin, peppermint and black pepper. Okay, so let's see what temperature it got to with adding the essential oils to it that were room temperature. Okay, that just pulled it down a little bit. So we're in between 150 and 160. So just got to let it cool. We got to get down to that 130. Can we do it? CBD soap, CBD soap, CBD soap. Okay guys, so one of the things I do when I'm cooling something is when I get it where I need to go, which I think I am, let's double check. Yeah, I'm where I need to be, 130. So now what I've done is I've plugged this up and I've turned on the crock pot, because see how I've gotten some really stucky soap here on the sides, and this is probably like 110, but the center is 130. And when you turn this up on high for a few minutes, it heats up the base, the ceramic, just for a second, and it causes this soap that's stuck to become melted just a little bit, just enough that you can work with it. And so I turned it on about 5 minutes ago on high, and you can already see a difference with how much soap is stuck to the side. And I've been cooling it with the lid off because I got desperate. It wouldn't cool. It was like stuck. It wouldn't go down. And I've got almost all the other soaps ready. So 130 is hard to do. So I got it down to a cross between 120 to 130. It's got thicker spots and thinner spots. So but it's just too thick to make a really pretty molding, and there's a lot still stuck to the sides. It's been heating for about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna let, since it's right at in between 120 and 130, I'm gonna let it warm for a bit with the lid and then bring you back. Okay guys, we're gonna see if we can get this molded. So first thing, we're gonna add our CBD crystals. Okay, it's going in quite well. I'm going to unplug that. And I did end up, it got cold getting cool. In other words, it got so stiff around it and then I turned it on high to try to heat it up a little bit around the outside, because it's like the center was too hot, the outside was too cool. So I just kept working with it. And it says right now that it's like 128, 129. So I've actually managed to not put it in until the 130 barrier mark. But and it actually looks like it's going to be moldable. So let's see what happens. It smells really good, and it looks like it's going to be moldable. As you know, what I did is it just got so stiff, and it's like trying to get it the right temperature, it got too stiff. And so I turned it back on and put the lid on it and just kept stirring it regular, almost like a rebatch. And it got cooler before it got warmer, and now I have met the 130 mark on the temperature it should be. Hang on, I'm gonna bang it. Let's see if it'll mold. Okay, so it looks like it's really, really good. Really, really good. So I'm going to scrape out what's left in the crock pot and what's on the spoon. I'm going to take it home with me, and I'm going to try this out at home. And we're not going to end this video here. We're going to do some tests on it and see if I feel like I get any effect whatsoever at all from this soap. Hey everybody. Okay, so I took the soap scraps home and I took a bath. I foamed up, I got wet, and then I stepped back to the other end of the shower and I let the foam, I foamed all over. I washed my hair in it, washed my face in it, I washed everything in it, and I left the foam on my skin for 2 minutes. And I felt dead calm for hours. I did not get sleepy, which is really nice to be able to get the dead calm from the blueberry and not pass out. So that was pretty nifty. And we need to do the math on that, Bridget. Would you pull my calculator up on my phone? Mm-hmm. All right, so I put 500 milligrams of CBD in here, and so we need to divide that by 22, because I get 22 bars of soap in these 2 moles. What's 500 divided by 22?
22.72.
22.72. So there's 22.72 per bar. So that's a pretty good high amount. I really felt it. It was not as strong as eating a CBD frog when you're really sore all over. And I was sore all over because we got a new driveway. Well, we're working on the driveway, and we had a place where we were washing. The road was washing away, and so we had to go get 10 cross ties, and we hired somebody to come and help us, and they didn't show up. So me and Steve alone had to get all 10 cross ties off the trailer, drill holes in them, and then carry them to where they were to be set, and then hammer them down with rebar before the church man came. And then the cable people put in a new line right in the way of the church guy's truck, because they lift the truck and and get rid of it. And so we had to spread church, because right there he could just drop a pile, put his bed down, go under it, and then drop a pile. So we had to spread all that ourselves. I was sore, and I really felt like I wasn't like hurting with arthritis pain or hurting with a bad disc. But for minor aches and pains, I felt like I felt something, and I felt like I got some relief. But more testing has to be done. This is a complete test project right here. I've already contacted the company to see if I could purchase this terpenes not blended in glycerin, so it would be possibly easier to work with when putting into the soap. Trying to get it out of that little bitty bottle with the squirt bottle tip and everything was not optimal. So if I could get it into something that I could get it out of easier, that would be great. And I didn't need the glycerin it was blended with. I already put glycerin in my soap. I didn't color this soap because I find that I only use natural colorants, and I find some natural colorants cause more issues during the molding process when it gets too cool than the soap does. Sometimes colorants will cause more trouble than the soap does when it's getting cool. And these little tidbits are going home with me. I really, really enjoyed this soap. And I want to make the strawberry next, the Go Go Go. And I want to make the pineapple, what we call the smile version. Of course, I'm using Essential Depot molds and racks. Or stackable baskets. So I'm pretty excited about this, and I'm going to do more videos on this. So, don't let this be the final say as to how effective this product is, because I'm still testing and learning how to work with it. And I'm going to take these 2 loaves once they cure, and I'm going to give them away to people, and ask them to test it. people here local that I can definitely get in touch with, like my parents. I want my mom and my dad to do the same thing, to put it to, you know, because it's a wash on wash off application, but we've put, when you're in the shower, you know, your pores are opening up during the exfoliation process and due to the hot water, so it's a perfect time while your pores are open like that to have penetration of something you want to have penetration of in the shower. And like essential oils, and of course I did put patchouli in here, which is a soothing agent. I did put lavender in here, which is a soothing agent, but I have never felt like that when I use my Giggle Bar, and I've never felt like that when I use my lavender bars. So I feel like it was, you know, the black pepper and the peppermint helped getting the CBD and the terpenes in my system. We use it in the body butter for the same reason, to help with the penetration into the pores, and I really feel like I had some effect from it. I really feel like it needs to be stronger. So like 1 bottle per loaf of the blueberry or the strawberry or the pineapple. I just did 1 bottle for the whole batch just to test. It smells heavenly. In my opinion, a guy or a girl would like it because it has an earthy scent, but it has that patchouli floral, which is not a flower, but then you add that little bit of lavender to it, and you almost have a floral, but you have a spicy, earthy floral. So it really has an excellent smell. I think anybody would like the way it smells. And in the shower, the scent just comes out like, oh, heaven. And it feels so awesome on the skin. And of course, it's goat's milk soap, so that makes it very moisturizing. All right, so I think next time I'm gonna test a bottle. So it would be 2 bottles per batch of the blueberry if I was doing this one instead of 1. And I think I'm going to try to see if I can buy the terpenes by themselves before they're blended with glycerin. And also I'm going to test it using a whole 1,000 milligrams of CBD. So therefore you would have like not quite 60 milligrams of CBD per bar. Right now we have, how much was it, 27 point something?
22.72.
Okay, 22.72. So 22 and 22 is 42, 43. So 43 point something is how much CBD would be in each bar. And that's nice. Oh, Bridget, you should smell this. All right, guys.
Bridget wants to take one home.
Bridget can take one home. As soon as it cures, everybody's got to test it and see what we think about it. Bridget has a bulging disc.
Yeah, my back's out of sorts too.
Yeah, so we're gonna test, and we're gonna let y'all. We're gonna inform you constantly about this, and I'll do a video playlist where I put all these CBD videos in the playlist so that you can keep up at home too.